Hello everyone, this is Grayson with The Spoke. On today's episode of Fix It Friday, we'll be covering brake adjustment, so that will include pad placement, caliper centering, and cable tension. In order to center our pads, there's a few things we want to keep in mind. We need to have the pads aligned with the curve of the wheel and also its angle as it contacts it. We can also look at its movement up and down, make sure it's not hitting our tire or coming off of the rim. It can be a little bit easier to adjust our pads if we first just disengage our brakes. With this mechanism, we just unhook our cable. We can also undo the spring on the caliper, and now this is free to move around. We can push it up against the rim and check its alignment. First things first, we're going to loosen up our pad. This is just a 5mm Allen key, and now you can see this is able to wiggle around. We have these conical washers that allow our pad to twist and angle in any position we want. So we can try to get it angled, straight, up and down adjustment, and then push it up against, check our adjustment. You can see it's coming off the rim a little bit down there. Just want to move that up. Now it's contacting our rim at a good position. If our pads are all adjusted, we want to put everything back in place, push that spring onto its little tab there, and then hook our cable onto its little notch, and now our brakes are good to go. When all your pads are properly placed, you can move on to centering the caliper. You can see right now, if we give this a spin, it's kind of rubbing on our rim. And if we give the brakes a squeeze, one side's not moving at all. To fix this, we have these bolts on the sides here, and those adjust how much tension is on this spring here. So since this caliper isn't moving at all, we can thread that bolt in a bit, periodically checking how much it's moving. You can see it's moving a little bit more now, but still not quite even. Just give it a few more turns. Again, just gonna keep checking. That's looking almost all the way there. Probably just one more adjustment. Now those pads are pretty even. When adjusting the spring tension, you might have to adjust both sides, play back and forth between tightening and loosening the bolt. We just want to check that there's no drag on the pads, slowing down the rim. After double checking that we've aligned our pads and centered our caliper, we can move on to adjusting the cable tension. You can see with this bike, I can squeeze that lever all the way to the bars. That's going to reduce our stopping power and make things not quite as safe. On this brake model, to increase this cable tension, you can undo this bolt, and that will allow this cable to slip through its mount. So if we pull a little bit extra, we can tighten down that bolt again and check our cable tension. Now there's a lot less movement in our brake lever. Our brakes are going to be more powerful and we'll be safer. Sometimes we can adjust this too much to where our pads are going to be rubbing, our brake is too tight. So similar process, loosen that bolt, allow some cable to slip through, and re-clamp it. Now we can check our cable tension again, give the wheel a spin. That looks good to go. If you think you have your brake mostly set up but it's not exactly perfect, you can turn this barrel adjuster counterclockwise. That's going to increase your tension, or clockwise, decreasing your tension. After you've adjusted it, it's a good idea, just turn this bottom one. That's going to lock your adjustment in place. If you're still having troubles with your brakes, stop on by the Spoke. Every brake should work pretty much the same, but if you're a little bit confused, we can help diagnose your issues. Thanks for watching Fix It Friday.